What's going on, Richie?
What's happening, Jess?
And not too much. It's a good day. I'm sort of recovered from all the conferences and all the events recently, so I'm kind of catching up on normal work. How about you? I think you have one more left.
I had one more. Actually have one again tomorrow, but that's just a local one, not traveling anywhere. It's a one day, so it's a bunch of marketers. So
Cool. So the family can stay intact. You're not getting too crazy or traveling.
yeah,
So
all good.
all good. Yeah. And, part of the thing, a lot of other people are on conferences as well. A lot of people in our space were mentioning the same. And, as I was at this conference, several conferences, and mentioning the ability for Ecwid to, to do merch stores or print on demand, I thought this would be a perfect time to bring Daniela back to the pod. So, Daniela, how are you?
Hey, guys. I'm great. How are you guys?
Doing great.
Yeah, doing awesome. Well, what have you been up to lately?
Lately, I worked on my website and my blog, and I redid everything to offer a bunch of Ecwid e-commerce tips and tricks. So I hope it'll be great for Ecwid users.
Awesome. And what is that website? I'll let you do a free plug here.
Thanks. It's Daniela.io.
All right. Awesome. So for listeners, check that out. If you search anything Ecwid on YouTube, very likely you're going to come across Daniela as well. So that's awesome. And now, how about you've been doing, you did the course as well. Like, have you been getting some good feedback from customers?
Great feedback. Yeah, there's 60 videos that are completely updated with Ecwid tutorials, tips, and tricks. I go from building your store to designing it, to driving targeted traffic and increasing your sales. So it's a complete e-commerce course. I worked really hard on it, and I'm glad it's bringing value to a couple new e-commerce users and, Ecwid users that have been on the platform for a while already now.
Awesome. I think I've seen a couple preview videos, so they looked awesome.
Yeah.
Maybe I had to get a freebie link or something there to go through the course, but I don't really have time for that, I guess. Well, we brought you on to just steal the best bits of information, so then I don't have to go through the full course. But anyway, for everybody listening, if you do want to, I think that'd be great for people that really just need more of more hand holding, and be able to go through the course at their own pace. Like, that's awesome. So you're our expert. That's why we brought you back today. And the topic I wanted to talk about was something, actually, Matt and Joe from Evergreen Profits on their recent podcast, they mentioned this. So they actually gave us a good plug at PodFest. So they mentioned it to all sorts of podcasters from around the world about, being able to monetize their podcast through a merch store. And they talked a lot about Ecwid and the integration with Printful. And I knew you have done a couple stores or worked on a couple stores like this. So I wanted to get your real experience here and share with the audience.
Yeah, when the integration with Printful and Ecwid came out a couple months ago, I was super excited. I thought it was a really great opportunity to be able to sell merch online. And I wanted to test it and take it a little further. I wanted to see if it was possible to integrate Printful with Ecwid, but also sell directly to eBay thanks to that. So to sell through Ecwid onto eBay and Instagram, since Ecwid integrates with both platforms. But I wanted to see if it was completely automated, like if I had to manually go do things in Printful and to update sales. And it worked. It was crazy. I was selling on eBay in a day. We set it up in a day pretty much, and we already started making sales. So it was really powerful. I think there's something there that's really interesting.
Wow, that's awesome. I mean, and eBay was never really the goal of that integration or that project, but I'm glad you were able to take your own spin on it. And I think, that's what it's there for, is like, here's the tools, go ahead, go play. And if wherever you think this merch would sell, please create a shirt, go make it. Now, for people that are driving in their car, they're not going to be able to go to this, but I know that the URL is boostedstartup.com, and it's a variety of, we'll kind of say, merch for side hustlers, for entrepreneurs, and there's a lot of products on there. Did you have to go and design each of those products individually, or like, are you a Photoshop wizard, or how did that process work?
There's a lot of available options for someone who wants to start their Printful store. So we tested all of them pretty much. I have knowledge of Adobe Illustrator, so I made a couple of myself, but that's a little bit more advanced. The easiest way was using what's already available within Printful. So they have an editor where you could add text to a shirt or a mug or anything that they sell that's available within the platform. And they offer images and icons and things like that. So you can use what's already available within Printful, and that's probably the fastest way to get it started. If you work with a designer, you might already have images and things with your logo or whatever you might want to put on a shirt. And then Fiverr is a great way to go too. If you have no skills with design online or anything like that, outsource it to Fiverr for $5 and get whatever you need made. That's another way to do things.
Awesome. Yeah, a couple things I want to touch on there, but I think for people that have never heard of Fiverr, I mean, you know, Rich, you mentioned it to me probably like 10 years ago when it was first on, and I'm like, I didn't get it at first, I'll be honest with you. I was like, that sounds like the dumbest thing ever. Then I'm like, oh, but they'll pretty much do anything you want for $5. Like,
there's so many crazy things. I mean, you name it. Like, go write my wife's name in the sandy beach in, you know, the Bahamas and take a picture and send it back to me. And it was like, there it is.
Yeah.
You know, I love you.
$5 and you can get that done. Yeah, yeah. So for people that are like, okay, sky's the limit on that. I don't want to get stuck in a rabbit hole of Fiverr, and it's Fiverr, I believe, .com. So, go ahead, get stuck in a rabbit hole on your own time. But for us, you know, like if you have this great idea for a logo or a T-shirt, you can go to Fiverr and say, hey, you post. I haven't done it. I can't even think of it. But like you post something and you pay the $5 and you get the results.
Yeah, and a lot of people, just so people, you know, if they see other prices there, they won't be scared. It's like most people start at $5, but there's things like, oh, if you want that today or expedited, then that might be $10. Or if you want it in all these different kind of vector graphic and this other plot, you know, kind of delivered in different ways, it might cost you more, but the basic starting cost is $5 for pretty much anything.
Yeah, I think that's it starts at $5 is probably a good way to do it. But if your needs are pretty basic and you want some help with something like a quick little graphics, a T-shirt, Fiverr.com, you can do it. So Daniela, you also mentioned you use Adobe Illustrator, and then Printful has their own we'll call it editor. I think like if you just have a quick little saying and you want to put it on a T-shirt or a hat, just go there. Like you can do this in a couple minutes. So, and now, so Daniela, a lot of the shirts you made for Boosted Startup, they were done with the Printful and like the Printful web app, I guess you would call it, where you know there's a saying and it's on a T-shirt and the T-shirt is on a person. It looks like a real person, but you know. Really, you just did it on Fiverr and whipped that up in a couple minutes. Is that correct?
Whip that up in a couple minutes is exactly correct. Yeah, I think we were making, because we got so excited. I was doing it with a friend, and it took us 5 minutes to make any product. So we were just like, wow, let's push this to the max and see what we can do with it. So we made 120 products, between 120 and 150. And then, we pushed them all out onto eBay. So it was very fast to do. It wasn't very complicated.
Awesome. That's great. So people can check that out, and that's for, you know, a basic store. You were able to whip something up, start making sales right away. Mm-hmm. There's a couple other, I believe you helped Steve Olsher out as well.
Yeah, we worked on his store because he does a podcast. I think Richie knows a little bit more about it. He could talk a little bit more about it in detail. But we made some merch for his store too also.
Awesome. Yeah, and Steve was on a previous podcast for people. That was the e-commerce OG. If you're looking back in the history of of the podcast, so
he's been doing it way back in time. I mean, CompuServe Mall. So put it that way. Like half of the people don't even know what I just said. You know, he's back when the little computer discs were getting put out to get people to sign up for stuff.
Yeah, so for people that want to listen back, you can listen to that full episode. But he has a merch store, using Printful and Ecwid so that he can help monetize his audience and his podcast. So for people out there that want to check that out. Daniela, any other new projects that you have in the works with print-on-demand merch stores?
Yeah, there's a YouTuber who reached out to me. Their channel is Toasted Gamer Boutique. It was kind of weird, but I was like, wow, they started it 5 months ago and they already have 1,500 subscribers. There's a lot of potential there. So I was like, okay, let's have a look. And she was thinking about ways to monetize her channel. And so we launched a website 7 days ago, and it already has 2.3 thousand organic clicks in Google Search Console, which is crazy. Like that, it's like a lot of people clicking on her website already. So she's just starting out, but eventually the merch is going to be one way of monetizing her audience, which is a great opportunity.
Wow. So there was the original source of traffic. Was it's a YouTube channel?
Exactly. Yeah. YouTube.
Okay. Awesome. And so then most of that traffic is coming from clicks through the description on YouTube. Am I correct?
No, actually, most of it is organic. To her website specifically, it's been mostly organic search. Some of it is from YouTube. I think maybe 15% at this point, but a lot of it was Google search. I think she just has a great niche right now, and there's a lot of people looking for information on the game that she's playing on YouTube.
Wow. Okay. So that's actually a ton of organic. I don't want to get stuck there, but that's a ton of organic traffic in just a week, right? So
exactly.
wow.
Is it a new game?
No, it has 10 million downloads. Like, it's existed for a couple of years now. So no, but there's just no one talking about it and actually doing voiceover content that's really interesting and fun. She's really good at live streams, so she's attracted a lot of people early on.
Oh, that's cool.
Man, I am doing the wrong thing again. I should just be playing video games on my phone and recording it. I always do the wrong thing. I don't know. All right.
Either that or you just like bright, shiny object syndrome.
Yeah, I do have a tendency to jump on new things, but all right. A video game review and streaming site, and now we're going to start monetizing it through merch. So yeah. I love it. All right. Okay, so I think that we covered a couple things here, but I think, for people that are listening, haven't heard of a merch store yet, kind of the concept of a merch store is basically, think of your favorite band, right? Like they have merch, right? Like you go to the show, you want to buy the T-shirt that proves you were there. It's kind of the same thing in the influencer space, for really any space. Like merch is just branded merchandise, and that's usually the T-shirts, the hats, the hoodies, coffee mugs are in the more businessy world. But that's merch stores. And then the reason I like this is because it's print on demand. So you don't have to go to a T-shirt printer and get 100 different sizes, or 100 printed with different sizes and colors. You just wait till you sell it, then somebody else ships it for you, and you keep the rest of the profit.
Yeah, your margin's not going to be as high because they're storing it, they're shipping it, they're doing all the stuff. But when someone's sitting there and they're thinking to themselves, I have good designs, or I have a good saying, or someone says something on the news that's the new meme, or they just want to give something a shot, and they don't want to put a lot of money into inventory or setting up the logistics of everything. Literally, Daniela's telling us how in one day they set up, granted, I wouldn't try to do as many products probably as
no. But I don't recommend it.
Yeah, you don't need to do 120 products to review a listing. That was probably a little overkill there,
but yeah, if you started with one, just give it a shot. In one day you could set up a store and have it selling on eBay, selling on your own website, selling in various locations depending on how deep you wanted to go with the inside of Ecwid. And you don't even have to buy any product. Again, you're not going to get as big of a margin, but that's nice to not have to buy anything, store anything, ship anything. All you have to do is come up with the idea, the meme, the saying, the logo, and spend a day, and next thing you know, you got a store.
Yeah, very cool. I'm going to steal a little bit from Matt and Joe's recent podcast at Evergreen Profits. So they launched their merch store using Ecwid, and they use a merch store a little bit differently. They're not, they make money in other places, so they're really using it just to spread their brand. So like they had an event recently they pre-ordered like 100 T-shirts just to have there and handed them out, or they use it for people that they buy the course and they get a free T-shirt. It's kind of used as a coupon. So I mean, there's so many different ways you can use it. Like it's a very easy add-on for people that are like for more traditional listeners here that already have an e-com store selling your own products. Like, is your brand strong enough where somebody would say, yeah, I'll buy their T-shirt too. Like can you add your logo to a hat, a T-shirt, things like that, and maybe you make a little bit of extra money. And then the reason I like merch is because we live in an Instagram world here. Like I'm a little older than that demographic for Instagram, but Instagram is the hottest platform right now, the hottest social platform, and all that merch we're talking about now, that's the beginning of a new post, a new image, a new story, like you name it, that now your merch, whether you sold it, whether you make money on it, or whether you just gave it away to customers, now is a part of that. It's a part of the story, which is now makes it, you can tag it, you can do all sorts of stuff with it. So I think that's where I would like to see, more.
Oh, definitely. I mean, if you think of it, think of all the people out there that have influence with no affluence, right? They have a huge market of people and they don't know what to sell them. And this, in one day, it gives them the opportunity to, again, create a logo, a meme, some sort of, they probably have something they say to their audience all the time. They could just put that quote on a shirt. I mean, that's what we did with Steve's store, right, Danielle? I mean, we just took some of the quotes that he says to his listeners all the time, or our listeners, I guess, because I'm on the show with him. But, and now all of a sudden you have another way of monetizing. So to Jesse's point, you have all these people that have these followings and they don't know necessarily what to do or what to sell. They don't have to go buy product. They literally can sell within a day to their existing audience and then start getting some affluence with that influence.
Absolutely. Actually, toastedboutique.com, she's always saying patang in her videos. Like when she gets something right, she's like, yeah, patang. And she put it on a shirt. She hasn't pushed it yet, but I'm pretty sure because a lot of the YouTubers while she's playing are like, hey, say patang. So yeah, I think it's a possibility. I mean, it's a funny thing that she says in her videos. It's pretty original. It's like her thing. So why not put it on a shirt?
Yeah, that's perfect. So really, there's a made up word that she now says while she streams, while playing video games, and you can put that on a T-shirt and make money from it. Like,
yeah, and you don't even have to make thousands off that. That's just, it's just, if you can pay for your coffee by saying a word and don't have to touch a darn thing, that's awesome. And I'm sure she'll do better than that with that many followers this quick.
Mm.
All right, so I think I need a Patang T-shirt, and nobody will have any idea what. Unless there's a fan that sees me wearing this T-shirt, they'll be like, "What is that? I don't get it." But yeah, I could see a ton of uses for that. And again, it's social friendly. So staying with the Toasted Boutique, and is it Toasted Gamer Boutique or Toasted Boutique?
Her YouTube name is Toasted Gamer Boutique, and then her URL is toastedboutique.com.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, hey, you got to do the proper URL structure here, proper YouTube name. So we'll get that in there. So, but okay, I love it. I lost my thought there. It was a really good one though. So Rich, I'll let you jump in.
So did she actually build this direct in an Ecwid store? Did she have another website already? What did this integrate, or how did she pull this one?
It started out with just YouTube, and then at one point she realized there were quite a few people looking for things in Google. So it was like, okay, let's make a website where we can refer and embed all of our YouTube videos. And then that was the next step. And then it was like, hey, this audience is growing really fast. How do we monetize it eventually? Because you can do YouTube ads, you can do ads on your website, but you can't count on that. You can't have just one source of revenue if you're actually going to build something that you want to have, like, be able to live from. So we were like, well, one way to monetize is with Ecwid. It's super easy to integrate to any website. She's on WordPress, so it really doesn't take much time to just set up and then create a couple shirts in Printful and put them on the site. Plus the Printful integration, it's not like you have to pay up front for the shirts or anything. You just create them, and if they sell, that's the time that you pay for them.
Oh, That's perfect. So now some of those T-shirts get out to her fans. Now she can ask for people to send me a pic of you wearing your T-shirt, and then now that can become a shoppable post on her own feed on Instagram. So if is there an Instagram feed that's related, or is that to come?
Yeah, she's got an Instagram. She actually already received fan art, which is so funny. But yeah, it's potential. There's potential there. I think it's possible that even if she gave away a couple shirts for free and asked people just to wear them and send in a picture, I'm sure there'd be people willing to do that.
Wow, fan art as well. Okay.
Yeah.
User-generated content to a whole nother level, right?
Yeah, I mean, now I'm a little jealous. Now, listeners of the podcast, I have received 0 fan art so far. This is episode 37. Where's the love? I don't know. Okay.
We'll get something now.
All right. Fake fan art, please. Can we get some fake fan art? All right. No, that's awesome. Cool. So Daniela, any last thoughts you have on, merch store? I mean, it seems like you've been playing with it. It's a lot of fun. I want to just encourage other people out there that are thinking about what do I do next? Like, this is an easy thing to test out and try.
Exactly. It doesn't demand too much time. If you're not techie or anything like that, using Ecwid is super easy and simple to set up. Like, I did a lot of research looking at a lot of platforms in the past, and if you don't have any coding or technological background, you're going to love Ecwid. Like, it's very easy. And I'm thinking specifically about people with audiences and they're trying to figure out how to monetize them, like Instagram influencers, podcasters, YouTubers. There's an opportunity with this here, and I'd just give it a try.
Awesome. I mean, it's almost like you've heard one of our previous advertisements for this. I love it. No, I mean, I wanted to keep hammering it home because I know people can do really well with this. And I got a little special bonus here. We are not in the habit of doing like bonuses and stuff, but we're going to try something out here. So if you remember to write this one down, or it should be easy enough to remember, but we have a secret special plan out there of Ecwid that people may not be aware of, but there's only one way to get it. And since you're listening to this podcast, I'm going to tell you the way. So you go to ecwid.com/social, SOCIAL. And then when you get there, you're going to see this special plan. What is it? It's our social selling plan. It's specifically meant for people that are in this space. So it includes, it's a $5 plan, so it's less than our normal venture plan, but it includes access to Printful, and then it includes the access for the shoppable posts on Instagram and Facebook. But it does, we did kind of tighten up the limits on other stuff, so you don't get the full talk to support. Anyway, there's some other limits, but it's a $5 plan. It's at ecwid.com/social. I don't know how long this link is going to be out there, so get after it pretty quickly if you want to do this. Daniela, don't be putting this out on YouTube here. This is a this is a podcast only.
Okay.
Oh, special, but you can use it. So
Yeah, and it's great. Say someone that wanted to just try this out but didn't want to mess with their existing store. I mean, why not even do that? It could be a good way to have a secondary store. It's $5 measly, and you can't even buy the T-shirt for $5.
yeah, $5 is nothing, but it includes Printful, includes Instagram and Facebook. I think a lot of people are going to jump on it, so that's why I don't want to spread this too far out there. But I want to encourage people to give this a shot. I think it's awesome. I think people are getting a lot of value from this, and get after that.
It's an awesome deal, seriously.
All right, so Daniela, any last thoughts here before we go?
No, thank you very much for having me today. It's always a pleasure.
And where can our listeners find out more about you or your course? Or
Absolutely. Head over to daniela.io and DANIELLA.io, and you'll find my Ecwid course, free Ecwid tutorial videos, tips and tricks, consultations. I've been doing consultations lately and recording them and offering them on my website. So if you want to take your Ecwid store to the next level, check out daniela.io.
Awesome. Well, Daniela, Rich, another good show in the books. Everybody that's listening out there, just want to encourage you to get out there and, get after your store and make it happen. Well, Rich, there's another great show.
When you add it all together with the other shows, you won't miss any strategies or new tactics on how to grow your online business.
So to make sure you don't miss anything, subscribe on your favorite podcast player. Rich, what player do you like?
Probably Stitcher.
All right.
How about you?
I'm an Apple podcast guy. I'm an Apple guy on that.
Yeah.
And we're growing right now. A listener asked us to add Google Play as a platform. So we just added that a couple weeks ago. We have Spotify, SoundCloud.
Nice. We're everywhere.
So subscribe on your favorite platform and don't forget to rate and review us.
So we know what you think.
Yeah, rate how we're doing, review on what we have done, tell us topics you'd like us to cover, tell us if you think we're great and you are going to take over the world.
Subscribe, rate, and review.
It's the only way we'll know, and it keeps the shows coming. Thanks, everybody.